And we are live. Hi, everyone.
Hello, Chasity.
Hi, Victoria. Hi, Perry.
Hey,
Hello to our
Perry.
viewers. Hey, y'all.
Wonderful.
It is a celebration. Happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth. Cheers.
Oh, God.
Cheers.
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 So, to our
Yeah.
viewers, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Chasity Beasley. I am a brand steward in Chicago. And tonight I am joined by our master blender, Uncle Nearest's great granddaughter, Victoria Butler.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for joining us. And Chasity, thank you for asking me to join on. And to you, Perry, we are so excited to be with you guys tonight.
Yes.
We're
And
excited
Carrie
to have you.
Farmer is from DuSable Museum. She's here joining us as well. Perry, thank you so much for being here with us tonight.
Oh,
Yes.
it's a pleasure and an honor. I just am so pleased about this budding partnership between the DuSable Museum of African American History, which some of you may know is the oldest independent Black museum in the country. And what better brand partner than Uncle Nearest Premium Whiskey, which has the most fascinating and amazing and rich history of the brand and of Nathan Nearest Green, and we want to showcase that. And so we're aligned in mission when it comes to talking about Black history that has heretofore been unknown,
Yeah.
hidden, or unknown. So
Thank
it's
you so much, Perry.
Yes,
my
thank you, Perry. So tell us a little bit about what's going on at DuSable these days, during this time.
Well, like most other institutions, we are closed to the public because of the COVID-19 pandemic. We've been closed to the public since mid-March. We're working now on a schedule for a gradual kind of phased reopening, which we hope that the fuller reopening will be aligned with the August 28th anniversary of the March on Washington
Oh,
for
wow.
Job Freedom. So that's the target date we've got. Of course, there are certain things that are beyond our control in terms of how the virus may or may not be spreading, and whether we're going to be subject to, additional public health requirements or closures. But we are hopeful that we'll do a phased opening starting in July on a limited basis, and then a fuller opening, as I said, at the end of August. And all that being said, I think this is a very it's a tremendously difficult time, I think, for everyone. But it's also a very hopeful time, I think, despite the horrors of this pandemic. We are seeing the second pandemic of, we say, 1619, the pandemic that Black people in this country have been suffering from ever since the beginning of slavery. And now we are watching young people really take to the streets, young people, not just Black youth, but all youth,
Yeah.
and taking to the street. And that makes us really hopeful. And some of the things that I talked about on the news broadcast today that were actually filmed at the DuSable Museum is this idea of youth movements, be it against the Vietnam War, be it against apartheid in South Africa. I think we're really seeing a tipping point now
Yeah.
with all of these people coming out, not only to protest police brutality and racism, but even recognize Juneteenth, which is why we're here
Yes.
today. Uh,
Yes.
so we have an amazing offering. We're called a museum, but we're really an educational institution.
Yes.
And with that, I want to introduce Dr. Kim Dulaney,
Hi,
who is our
Kim.
director of
Hello, hi everybody.
education. Kim,
Hello.
PhD, a professor of Black Studies, and so Kim is joining us, and she's going to talk a little bit about Juneteenth and why we celebrate Juneteenth.
Welcome,
Okay.
Kim.
Hi, thank you. And so June, I just got off a call that DuSable hosted on reparations. Juneteenth is about freedom. It's about the whole idea of freedom. And on Juneteenth, we should look at the whole notion of freedom. Have we achieved freedom? When people, Juneteenth is when a particular group in 1865 found out on June 19th, 1865, that they had been free. Some people argue that that's not when they found out. They knew, but they had to wait for the troops to come because people were reluctant to let them exercise that freedom, right? So they had to wait till after General Lee gave up, and then the troops came in. And so, but what we know for sure is that on June 19th, 1865, people were able to go off and leave, So that's one sense of freedom, free bodies. But on Juneteenth, what we do annually is to assess our movement towards that freedom, right? Because we know it wasn't actuated and it wasn't realized at that moment when somebody just said you can leave. There are a lot of things incorporated into this whole idea of freedom that we have not yet achieved. So on Juneteenth, we take a look at that and we see how far we've come and what else we can do to move forward in our efforts to attain freedom. And so I'm so happy to be here today about this, what is it, Uncle Nearest? Yeah. I don't drink whiskey, but I'm going to drink it today. I need to drink it today. So about Uncle Nearest, what a way for us at DuSable to transition into this later, right? Because Uncle Nearest, I'm gonna let you all talk about him, but I got to do my research. So I did some research about Uncle Nearest. So I'm very happy that DuSable is participating. There we are, Uncle Nearest. I'm happy that DuSable is participating in this. On a call I just got off of, we saw that this is 155 years since we talked about that being 155 years, and somebody pointed out, no, it's actually to add 2.5 years to that. So we can't just wait for reparations. Here we are tonight, helping to restore what should have been received years ago ourselves by supporting Uncle Nearest. So I'm ready for this deliciousness. I don't know if y'all can see my setup right here.
Go, Dr. Kim.
Make it happen. Okay.
Very nice.
I cleared my schedule and I'm ready. Okay.
That is why we're here. So I hope our viewers have their tastings in front of them and their tasting mats.
Okay.
Victoria is going to lead us through a tasting of her small batch, 1884.
This is our small batch, 1884.
Yep, I have mine.
You got yours? Very good.
I have mine.
And 1884 is a blend of 7, 8, and 9-year-old Uncle Nearest whiskey. The backstory to how this came about, how the 1884 came about, is our awesome co-founder, Miss Fawn Weaver, wanted to have more of Uncle Nearest's descendants involved in the whiskey making process at the Nearest Green Distillery. And she thought that it would be a wonderful thing to bring in a descendant to curate, to blend this whiskey for our small batch. I had the privilege and honor of being that first descendant to do that. It was well received by the whiskey community. We have received many awards on it right out the gate. It started receiving awards. It launched in July of last year. And since that time, I have been elevated, or I was elevated rather, to the first African-American master blender on record.
We're making history.
Yes. We are all about making history at Uncle Nearest. We have many firsts, one of which we have the first bottle of whiskey that honors a Black man. His name is on our bottle, on every one of our bottles. So we have many firsts at the Nearest Green Distillery, and I am privileged and honored to be the first Black female master blender. So I'm happy about that.
That's powerful. That's very powerful.
Applause.
Yes, thank you,
Okay.
thank you, thank you. But in regards to this beautiful whiskey, again, it is a blend of 7, 8, and 9-year-old. Like all of our whiskeys, it went through the Lincoln County process to cleanse out the impurities and those things that oftentimes will give you a headache or cause you to feel bad after drinking whiskey. Our whiskey goes through 2 processes. So we pride ourselves in taking an extra step in ensuring that we give you all the best quality product that we can possibly make.
Okay.
So Dr. Kim, you are in good hands, dear.
All right. I'm wondering, is there a whiskey drinking etiquette, or do I just take it to the head? What do I do? Do I
Do
pour
not
it in?
take it to the head, ma'am.
Don't
So
take
this
it
is
in.
what we're gonna do.
Don't take it to
Don't
the
do
head.
that.
We're gonna nose it first. Dr. Kim, get
Do I
your
pour it
glass.
in this glass? Do I pour it in this glass, or do I
Yeah.
drink it
No,
out this man?
pour it in your glass. That'll be fine.
How much? What's safe?
That's enough, dear.
Okay.
You slow walk it
If
down.
I start dancing on my desk, just cut in my
That's loud.
Okay.
So let's nose it first and just kind of take a breath and blow it out and nose it from side to side. Kind of get a feel for what you're smelling, and let the aroma of the whiskey kind of take over your sensories.
Okay.
So what are you thinking, Dr. Kim?
It smells like it's gonna taste good. It does. It smells a little kind of, I don't know, somehow it smells like sweetness with a punch.
Yeah,
That's what it smells like.
we've heard that before. It to some people it does have a sweetness, and it doesn't really taste sweet. Not to me, but everybody, everybody's palate is different. So there's no wrong way in regards to what you taste and what you smell. So let's take a little sip. Take a little sip.
Not a big gulp, just a little sip.
No, ma'am, just a little sip.
Okay, let's sip.
And when you take that sip, you really want to move that whiskey.
You want to move the whiskey around in your mouth, Kim.
Almost as if you're chewing it. Really coat your mouth really well. And then breathe out.
Now breathe out, Kim. Just kind of blow out. And then let that settle just a second. And then do it again, Kim.
Okay. Do it again?
Do it again. Let's take a slot.
If I must. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Back. I had a bad connection, so I had to check.
That's okay. You're back now. So Kim is just tasting the 1884. Yep, that's what we're on.
We're tasting 1884, Perry. So Kim had her first taste, and I asked her to taste again. So Perry, you can do the same. We nosed it, and then we had a taste. We had a dram of it. Taste delicious to you. That's what we hope for.
It's pretty good.
It is, yeah.
It's pretty good.
Victoria did an awesome job with our small batch.
Hey Perry, show your mug. Show your to-go mug.
Yeah.
And tell the viewers where you got that.
She got it from me.
I got that from Chasity.
Chasity said she got that from me.
On the local affiliate of AB.
Right.
That's pretty cool glass, though, isn't it?
It is.
Kim, I'm sorry.
Happiness.
Perry, see if you can turn your mic up. We can barely hear you. See if you can turn your volume up.
I will. I tried to turn the volume up. Here we go.
Okay.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Is that a little bit better?
Very better.
So Perry, you were saying you had the nearest to thee this morning?
Chasity was on the news with me this morning.
Oh, okay. I hope
Can
that
you hear
someone
me?
recorded
Can't hear
it.
me.
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
Delay. But it's okay. We'll work with it.
It's okay. Kim, back to you.
We'll work with
in
it.
regards to the
I'm
guards.
smiling.
What did you think?
What did I think of it?
Great.
Yes.
Are we doing
Oh, it was delicious.
1856?
Yeah, we're not on 1856 yet. We're on the other one.
We're still
right?
on 1984.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
still on
And
84.
I thought it was delicious. I don't know. I could take it by itself, which I normally don't do with liquor. So I'm wondering, how do people have it? What's a way that you would recommend? Do people have it like, or are you a purist where you say, no, don't touch my liquor, just do it like this? Okay. Do you add things like cranberry, orange juice or something, or do you just go with this?
Well, this is my thing. And I believe our whole team believes in this philosophy. You drink it how you like it.
Okay.
If you like it with cranberry juice, then put you some cranberry juice in it.
Okay.
If you like it in
like
a cocktail, make a cocktail.
Yeah.
If you like it neat, then drink it neat. And I think it varies, Kim. You know, someday you may want a cocktail, and someday you may just want to drink it neat.
That's right.
Someday you may want to put it over, put it on rocks.
Right.
So I think a person should drink it how they enjoy it.
I have to see what the after effects are on me when we get off. Then I need something to slice it or not. Right now, it's pretty good to me. It's pretty good. So did you help to develop the flavor? Is that what you do? I mean, you said
I blended this. I went into the lab. And of course, I had some of my team members in there with me, and I tasted samples from several different barrels.
Wow!
And because all of our whiskey is good, I wouldn't say that I took out what was bad, because none of it is. I blended what I liked the most.
Okay.
And according to my palate, my taste, what I enjoy. So what you're drinking is what I enjoy to drink.
Yeah, okay, good. I would love to see a video of how Perry talked about us taking a tour. Perry, is Perry thing is frozen? Perry talked about taking a tour of your facility. I would love to see that and see you in that place. That would be rich for my students to see that.
I hope, Kim, that you all will do that. Of course, like I said in the call, we're closed like most people because of COVID. But when the time comes and we're open to receiving our whiskey there,
Yes,
very good. Is this the same as what the old timer used to call hooch?
No, ma'am. This is not hooch.
It's not hooch. And this is not bootleg.
No, this is
premium
whiskey.
Yes.
Has the
premium whiskey.
This is premium Tennessee whiskey.
Okay.
That's right.
It's about as top of the line as you can get.
You taking me a step up. You taking me a step up. I like that. Okay.
So like I said, this was launched in 2019. And since that time, we've won several awards with it. And it has become one of, some people, it's their favorite of the three expressions that we have. But what launched us and put us on the map was our 1856.
Yes.
This is the bottle that we started with almost 3 years ago. So mind you that we are not quite 3 years old yet.
Wow.
So I will let Chasity take over from here, and she can walk us through the 1856.
Okay.
So 1856, like Victoria said, is the first expression that we released in August of 2017. So we're almost 3 years old. And this is a medium-bodied whiskey, has lots of richness, lots of complexity. And I really enjoyed this one in a cocktail because of the high proof. But it's also very delicious, neat, and with a little splash of water to let it open up. This spirit is aged for 9 years, and it's 100 proof.
Wow.
1856, the year on the bottle, is the year that Uncle Nearest helped perfect that Lincoln County process. That is why we call him the godfather of Tennessee whiskey, because there would be no Tennessee whiskey category if it wasn't for Uncle Nearest.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yes, it is amazing. And Victoria, Uncle Nearest, he started working for Jack Daniel after he was freed, correct?
He was freed.
Right.
Yes, he was a free man.
A free man when he started working for Jack Daniel.
Right. After teaching Jack how to distill, he
I
then
saw
went to
that.
work for him. So, yes, he was a free man, and in 1856 is the year that he perfected the Lincoln County process. And I failed to mention what 1884 means. I apologize for that. I got ahead of myself.
That's okay.
With Kim trying to drink that whiskey. 1884 is the year that we believe that Nearest Green last put whiskey in a barrel.
Okay.
And this is a 93 proof whiskey, and it is closest to what Nearest did when he was making whiskey. Okay. But the 100 proof.
This is the full grown. 1856. That's
full grown, girl. It's full grown.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So let's take
you.
Okay. 1856. I saw in some of the information I was reading that so people first should know that we're talking, when we say Jack Daniels, we're talking about Jack Daniels, like Jack Daniels the whiskey, right?
That's exactly right.
Yes, and I saw that a family member has since purchased the property where Nearest worked as head stiller and where Jack Daniels worked as a chore boy. That's how they first met.
That person you're referring to is our founder.
My founder, yeah.
Our founder, Fawn Weaver, and that property now belongs to us.
Wow.
That was one of the first properties.
Wow.
It was the first property that Fawn and her husband, Keith Weaver, purchased after coming to Tennessee.
That's right, the Weavers. And
the house is on the bottle.
It's on the bottle?
The house is on our bottle.
Okay, all right. And also the Weavers are the same. That's a couple that has raised the $30 million twice and all of this stuff, raised all the money. This is very powerful, you know, especially, I'm telling you, it couldn't be on at a better time about doing for self and making things happen. This is very powerful. So they bought that property where he once worked, right?
And right. Actually, it's the only place that Nearest worked. Now, when Nearest retired in 1884, around that time, he didn't move to the place, to the location that Jack Daniel had purchased, where the Jack Daniel distillery is now. Nearest did not go there. He retired, and his sons, and then later his grandsons worked there at the distillery that Jack Daniel built some miles up the highway from the original spot.
Wow, this is such rich history. It's very rich. He retired, you said he retired in 1884.
Yes, that's the year that
Sounds like that's
put whiskey in a barrel.
A black man, and he retired.
He retired.
From specialty work in 1884. Those are not the kind of stories we hear.
That's right.
Yeah, and he retired. Not he died on the field. He retired from the specialty work, and now years later, you all are reclaiming this legacy and this expertise to put this out. This is very powerful. I might start drinking this whiskey after this.
Well, let's
Okay, let's go.
You ready? So go ahead and put your nose in that glass. And as you're sniffing, open your mouth just a little bit and breathe through your mouth as well. To inhale all of those rich, complex smells. Can you pick up on anything that you're smelling?
I don't know. It just smells good. It almost smells like I could wear this. It almost smells like I could wear this as cologne. As cologne.
It smells good, huh?
Hello, whiskey.
So you don't have to worry about spilling it on yourself.
Kim,
Yeah,
look at the color between the 1884 and the 56. You'll notice the difference in the color
I
too.
did. I saw that. Yeah, I did. So that's that 100. That's that 100 difference.
100 proof. It's darker in body, darker in color than the 1884.
So is that the language we use? We talk about the body of the whiskey.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the body is that. Okay. So the body is the what? How would you explain that? The properties of it? Or,
well, when you say body, you talk about how it feels in your mouth.
okay.
The viscosity on your palate and how it engulfs your palate. So
Okay.
this one is a medium to full-bodied whiskey. It's very rich.
Okay.
I like to say that, when I smell this, it's like I want to pour it over a stack of pancakes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Can you kind of smell it like that?
I do.
That maple. And
it smells like maple.
Yeah.
It does.
It has a beautiful smell.
Maple, all that good maple richness comes from the barrel aging.
Yes.
Many people think that comes from that sugar maple charcoal filtration. It doesn't. That imparts no flavor on the whiskey. All those maple sugary notes that you're getting comes from the aging in the barrel.
Wow.
So go ahead.
Take a little sip, Kim.
Here's to you.
9 years.
Here's to you, first Black woman. Let's go.
How many?
9 years. 9 years.
9 years.
Yes.
Wow.
Tell us what you think when you taste this.
Perry, have you had it before?
Can you tell us about the image of the home, of the house on the label?
Yeah, we just discussed that very briefly. That is the home where Nearest Green and Jack Daniel resided, where they worked together and built their relationship. That home, that land was purchased by our founder, Fawn Weaver. She has restored that home. It's beautiful. And I can't wait till you two ladies can come down and join us at the distillery and view the property and that home. It's absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely.
Wow. Amazing. And so did you do the flavoring for this one as well? Work with the flavoring?
No, I hadn't, but I will be, all of our blends moving forward, I will be overseeing those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I got some bad news for you.
What, girl? You like
it? So Victoria.
Okay. It's just probably because I'm 100.
Can you hear me? I want to ask Victoria. Victoria, did you always know about your ancestor Nearest Green? Is it something that you grew up knowing about?
Yes, I have always known.
Did you know about Nearest Green?
I have always known about Nearest. My grandmother, who is Nearest's granddaughter, always shared the story. Who Nearest was, what his contribution was. Of course, she wasn't as technical, using the technical words that we use today, but she always let us know that her granddaddy taught Jack Daniel how to make whiskey. Wow. So it was never a secret to me, my siblings, our family. In fact, it was never a secret in Lynchburg at all. All the folks in Lynchburg knew about Nearest Green and what his contribution was to the Jack Daniel distillery.
Okay. I think Perry's having a bit of trouble.
She's having a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, she's having a bad connection.
Yeah. So Kim, you're saying that you like that 56, the best.
I thought I did, but I'm sticking with you. They're neutral. They're neutral. At first, and maybe because I'm used to it and I'm feeling it a little bit. When my first sip of this, I was like, oh no, I'm going with 1856. But now that I've had another sip, I would say they're equally delicious.
Well, thank you. But just so you know, honey, we are not in competition. This is all one family.
Okay, that's
right. Everybody likes something different, Everybody likes something different. Good. And I know you guys do not have our 1820 single barrel.
Our unicorn bottle.
You don't have any, huh, Chasity?
I don't have any. Well, my bottle is empty.
Wow.
So this 1820 you can only be purchased at the distillery.
Oh, wow.
It's our single barrel. Only 1% of the barrels that we pick will ever become our single barrel whiskey. So it is definitely premium, and the age varies from bottle, from batch to batch. This what I have right now is our US 30, it's barrel 30, and it's a 112.2 proof.
Wow.
And it's really, really good. People, when I say the proof, it sounds like a lot, but it is so good. You would never think that you're drinking 112 proof because the whiskey is so good.
I was thinking that about these. This doesn't seem like, liquor for me often is torturous, like it's so hard and strong. Like this doesn't feel like that. This is incredible.
It doesn't have that harsh burn.
It doesn't.
And I think part of that too, Kim, is going through 2 filtration processes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it kind of smooths it out and takes off.
Yes, it's very smooth. Yes. Yeah.
What we do is we filter that. It goes through a 2-step process. We filter that through coconut carbon shells, and then it rests with diatomaceous earth. And so diatomaceous earth is like fossil. It's natural. It's used to cleanse the body, detox, things of that nature. So when we rest it with the whiskey, it removes those congeners and toxins that you don't want in your whiskey. So that's why we have such a smooth product.
Okay. So you've shown how to drink it and how to what is this called? Is it called nosing it?
Yeah.
Look at John.
Okay. Hey. You know what to do the next time. Next time I'm out there. So it's nosing it. Okay. And then
Maybe me and you, girl.
We're getting some bad connections.
We had a little blink out.
Yeah.
Perry, you back?
We do have some questions that I see.
Okay.
Quinn Smith is asking, can you buy it online? Yes, Quinn. You can go to unclenearest.com and purchase online for free shipping. Use the code LiquidGold. You can also order us through delivery services like Drizzly and Minibar.
And have it delivered to your home.
The fancy one?
Yeah.
Can we even buy the fancy one? The exclusive?
No, unfortunately, you'll have to come visit me at the distillery for this 1820.
Okay.
And friend us on Facebook, follow us on our social media pages. And I'm sure when the distillery is back open, there will be notification there letting you know that we're open and accepting tours again.
Okay.
So, I think it's just really amazing that many of us knew, our people knew what Juneteenth was and what it means to us. And I just really think it's amazing that the rest of the world and those that didn't know are now being educated on what this historic date means for our community.
Absolutely.
And what better way to showcase and talk about this than with DuSable Museum?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I think this is a perfect time, like you said, to make this connection. I'm glad you all made this connection with our president, Perry Irma, because this is perfect for today, because we want to be proactive, right? In our regaining and collecting ourselves and restoring our own freedom and things like that, right? And so to have this, and as you said, to make history and you're the first Black woman ever, this is very, very, very powerful. Black studies, this is what we love to see, you taking control and then producing something for yourself, right? And then
Kim, you're saying me, and I am the first Black female master blender, but by no means can I take
I know it's a team effort.
yeah, and I can't take
absolutely.
credit for launching the brand.
Yes.
That credit goes to the beautiful Fawn Weaver.
That's right. That's right.
This was Fawn's vision. She had the tenacity and drive and vision to launch this brand, and she has built it with a team now of very talented people. We have a team that is diverse. However, we are the only um, American spirit, that is led by a team of women. We are the only spirit, American spirit, that is owned by a Black female.
This is too much for me. This and this all together is too much.
I can't take credit for those things, but I am a part of the beautiful process that Fawn Weaver is building. Chasity and I are both a part of that process, and it is a beautiful thing to be a part of. We're very honored and proud of what we're doing. To think that Nearest Green started this thing for as being the first African American master distiller.
Right.
That's more than 160 years ago.
Yes.
And then now today, 2020, his great granddaughter, a girl by the name of Victoria-Eady Butler, has the opportunity to walk in his shadow and be the first Black female master blender.
Wow.
And I have to give credit to Fawn Weaver for that. She elevated me to that position. And so I thank her for that. And we are continuing to do great things, being led by her. We have one hell of a team, Chasity.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Listen, and then here you are at DuSable, the oldest African American museum in the country. On this year, Nearest Green would have made 200 years old.
Yes.
200 years ago.
Right.
So imagine that. 200 years ago, here you are, the first. He was the first. Here you are, the first, carrying on this legacy and this tradition, which happens a lot. Not a lot, but it happens in the Black community, and we don't know it. It's just that you know the history. You know that you know the history. So here you are again with the first museum, with the first lady doing this, and we're talking about the first Black man to do this. And he was born 200 years ago, and he retired in 1800s. What? I mean, this is powerful.
Yeah.
This is very powerful.
Kim, you mentioned the Maryland connection, I think, when we were talking earlier. And I failed to mention that, yes, Nearest was indeed born, we think, in 1820. In the early 1800s, he was brought to Lynchburg, Tennessee. And that is why it is significant. That is the significance of the 1820 on our bottle.
Okay.
So, yeah, right. And 200 years ago, and here we are celebrating a man who was once a slave.
Yes,
absolutely. Was once a slave. That's important. I was telling Chasity that I attend those when D Nice is playing music,
Yeah.
And I'm watching one day and he says, I need that Uncle Nearest. And I'm like, Uncle Nearest? I had never heard of Uncle Nearest. And then I hear that we're going to do something with Uncle Nearest. And then he mentions Uncle Nearest and how delicious it is. And
I did not know he wanted to shut up.
Yeah, he did. He sure did. Someone took a picture, a still shot and sent it to me.
Okay,
he sure did. And so I think this is going to be surely my spirit of choice when I'm hosting anything is going to be for sure. And then people can feel empowered, connected. That's a powerful thing. That's a powerful thing to be connected to that legacy, right? And not just brand. So I'm going to drink this out of my activism duty now.
You are now a steward of the brand.
That's right. Steward of the brand.
There you go. Somebody's going to be sending you my pictures at events. Oh, this glass. I'm going to carry. Listen, I got to keep some of my countriness with me. I'm going to carry this in my purse. So when they get a picture, they can send it to you all.
That sounds good to me, Kim.
There you go.
Kim, before we wrap this up, tell us and tell our viewers how we can support DuSable Museum, how they can be involved and still view some of your exhibits, and what programs you're doing virtually right now.
DuSable Museum, I'm so excited to be a part of DuSable Museum's 60th anniversary next year. 60 years. This is their 60th anniversary, our 60th anniversary. And so leading up to that, we have a lot of programming since this whole, what do you call this? What do you call it? Stay in, shelter in place. Since it happened, we have been developing more online content, more digital content, digital programming. That's why we just had that panel. And we're going to look to develop a lot more content. And we plan to be the leader in community education, because anybody in the African tradition, whoever holds the stories, that's a teacher, that's an educator, right? And so we, in a Eurocentric way, we just say like a teacher, you go get certificate. That's not it in African centeredness. If you like you telling this story and passing this on to us, you are educating us, you're teaching us, right? And so in that same vein, that's what DuSable does when we tell stories there. And so if you would like to support DuSable, anybody want to support DuSable, oh wow, everybody's throwing around all this beautiful money right now. everywhere. You want to throw some towards this institution who's been at it for 60 years, whose founder started this museum in her house, right? And then moved to this. We have a beautiful location. You saw it, Chasity.
Yes.
It's a beautiful location.
Chicago, and if you haven't been there, please
go
to the website. Stay up to date.
Yes, go to our website, DuSableMuseum.org. You can see, you can learn all about it. You can get a membership for DuSable and then be notified of new material. We have national and international conversations, right? And then you can just drop us a little cash too. You can do that. We take donations, and then let me see what else I could say safely before Uncle Nearest starts to speak for me. Uncle Nearest, my ancestors telling me to say something. Let me see. And so we welcome you to visit DuSable, visit the website, and look at a lot of things we have going on there. And we look forward to partnering with you all. When we have a lot of events there, and we look forward to having Uncle Nearest there at our events as well.
Cannot wait to be a part of all the great things you have in store, including your 60th anniversary gala next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you
Kim, don't forget you invited me already.
Huh?
Don't forget you already invited me to the 60th
anniversary. Sure. Absolutely. Come on through. We're gonna drink some Uncle Nearest and chill out there. It's a beautiful landscape, beautiful courtyard. And so come on through for the 6th. We do great events. We party with a purpose at DuSable. So we look forward to it. And in fact, I think it would be beautiful for you to tell this story about Uncle Nearest there.
Absolutely.
I think that would be rich, so that every little piece of what we're celebrating and what we're doing, right, is connected to this historical thread, right, and cultural thread. Yeah, we look forward to it. I look forward to visiting your place, and I look forward to going. Y'all got me now. Going to buy me some Uncle Nearest.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're making more history today. We don't.
You know history today. Listen, I'm not easily swayed. So the fact that I like this is a big deal.
Great.
Well, we're thrilled that you do. We're thrilled that you do. We're thrilled that you like it. We take a lot of pride in our whiskey. We really do. Our main thing is to cement Nearest Green's name in the history books and share his story with those who don't know, and continue to, like you said, educate those who don't know. But we also we like the fact that people enjoy our whiskey. So we are glad that you like it.
Yes.
We hope that you will drink it again. Drink it honorably.
Yes.
Okay.
And enjoy it, Kim.
I will.
Yeah.
Listen, I should say, when you say about the history, I should say that you all have that great video with Jeffrey Wright in it. And is that on your website?
That's on your website. Yes, it is. It's
log on to that website and look at that. That was pretty powerful. Yeah. Story as well.
Yeah. You can find that story at nearestgreen.com and on unclenearest.com.
Right.
Nearest.com. There you go.
Well, I think we can close this out with a toast.
With a toast.
Yes, I didn't prepare one.
Okay.
I didn't prepare one, but I think it's only fitting that we toast to our ancestors.
Absolutely.
We toast to Nearest Green, and we toast to DuSable Museum.
Absolutely.
And we ask all of our friends, drink honorably.
And
wherever you can, whenever you can, wherever you can, please share the legacy of Nearest Green.
This sounds like a campaign ad. Drink honorably and drink earnest. There you go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks, everyone. To our viewers, thank you so much for joining us tonight for our Juneteenth celebration. We hope that you join us for our live videos right here on the Uncle Nearest Facebook page. And you can go to our Uncle Nearest website again and get a schedule of all the live shows that we have available. Kim, Victoria, thank you for being here tonight. Perry, we had some difficulty, but thank you so much for being here.
Yeah. Thank you. I look forward to meeting you in person. And Chasity, I'll be seeing you around here in Chicago.
Yes, absolutely, ladies. Enjoy the rest of your night. Everyone, cheers.
Cheers. Happy Juneteenth.
Cheers. Bye-bye. Happy Juneteenth. Thank you. Bye-bye.